As I bring this legendary series, I got nothing but dogs coming on the show for my 2023 NFL Draft Prospect Series. Folks, I got a guy who you want to look him up, do your research, and follow wherever he goes, because whichever NFL team, one of the 32 NFL teams that ends up with TYJUAN GARBUTT, man, they are going to get a DAWG dog. That being said, he didn't play for the Dogs. He played for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Ladies and gentlemen, I have none other than TYJUAN GARBUTT, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. You know, just had a nice day of workout, had both of the workouts in, and I'm just chillaxing, ready to get this going.
Very nice, very nice. Man, with the NFL draft literally a hop and a step right around the corner. You mentioned you're literally working out, man. How's this whole process been for you?
Oh, I think it's been pretty swell. Me and my agent, I think we've advised a pretty good plan to get me trained down here in Tampa. Because where I'm from, I'm actually from Virginia, where I played school at Virginia Tech, and it's probably freezing up there. It's probably about 40, hitting around the average of 40 to 30 degrees daily. So being in a nice 70, 80 degree weather, feeling that Florida humidity, it being like only my third time stepping foot in the state outside of playing the University of Miami, it's been pretty nice. And something for a small country kid like me, a kid that grew up and just a state that's all the way up, I'd say the East Coast, compared to coming all the way down to the most southern state down the East Coast. I think it's been quite the experience. It's been a pretty fun one.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I talked to a lot of NFL draft prospects like yourself, and it seems like the two states that they're in are Florida and Texas, man. So you're right at home.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Now you mentioned you're from a little country town in Virginia. Man, take us from the beginning. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
It start all the way. I want to say I started loving it around 10, 11 years old. That's when I played my first season around then. But I've always loved the fact that my uncle, who was a senior around 2009, the class of 2009, so yeah, I was about 10 years old. I love watching him just go out there, score touchdowns, go out there and, be an impact player for his high school team. And I think that's when I really decided, this is what I'm going to do. And just from there on, it's been all about not just, wanting to play, but also becoming a student of the game.
Excellent, excellent. And Virginia Tech, I mean, that's like the NFL factory, man. Like literally so many great players, from Michael Vick to defensive players to receivers, D linemen like yourself have came from there. What ultimately led you to Virginia Tech for choosing there to play college football?
Oh, Bud Foster was my primary recruiter in my area, and he's, to me, the greatest defensive coach to ever coach in college football. And just, when you have somebody that can come up to you, a 15-year-old boy, and, just take time out of his day just to check on him, just to, continue to not only, like you said, relay all the greats that come through there, but continue to, harp on the fact that he can potentially try to help make me one of them. It's always been pretty good to, me. I've always felt like home. They were the first Power Five that ever really showed me major interest. They weren't the first to offer, but they were the first Power Five that showed me major interest from, like I said, at that age of 15. And, just at that age, there's a lot going through your head. You're still trying to worry about these SATs you're about to have to end up taking the next fall coming up, and you get ready for your junior year, which is a very important year in high school. So it's like, I think just a little bit of that, and just when I first stepped on campus, it was beautiful and it felt like home. And not being too far from my actual home, which is Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is only 3 hours and 10 minutes away from the university. There's a lot of key factors I feel like that factor in my decision.
And what were the fans like over at Virginia Tech?
Oh, they're all hokey crazy. Like, it's hokey heaven. I don't know how to describe it. You can describe it any way you want. Like, when I mean crazy good. They're so positive. They're all loving. I still, to this day, like, a lot of them still send me encouraging and nice, inspiring messages. Just the fact that I was a kid from Virginia that stayed home, and just the fact that I was there for as long as I was, and not just the fact, and just everything I accomplished there, on and off the field. Just meeting some, like, when I go into their little their pizza and wing spot. A lot of fans like to go there, and they'll grab a drink. I'll go get me some chicken wings, and then they notice me, and they'll take a quick picture, or they'll ask me a quick question, or they'll say what's up, give me a quick head nod. This football heaven there. And what I mean by that is it's just such a small town, Blacksburg, and those people would do anything to just see the Hokies do great. Any Hokie from the starting the end, which was myself, to the second string long snapper. As long as you wear those colors and if you play a major sport there, it's like everything is treated like you're one of their own, like you're one of their own child that's there at Virginia Tech. And I think that's one of the cool, if not the coolest part of just being there and going there.
That's awesome. And from an outsider's perspective, looking in, Virginia Tech fans are like the coolest fans. I don't think I've ever met one, not that they don't have them, but I haven't met one jerk fan from Virginia Tech, man. They're always really cool people, man, and they love their team, man. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not fake neither. Like they're very passionate, but it's usually always positive, like always positivity, especially like face to face. Like it's never, like you said, it's never no jerks. It's never, oh, you could have did this or you could, it's never any know it alls or how I
Yeah.
say it, computer warriors, people that they
Keyboard
think that
warriors.
keyboard warriors. They think it looks so easy, but if it was that easy, then everyone would be doing it. It's never like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you saw in the it's unfortunate, it was Osai, I think was his last name, edge rusher for the Cincinnati Bengals. He had one bad play,
Hmm.
dominated the whole game, and all of a sudden it defines him as a person. It's really sad. And you see all the keyboard warriors and stuff. So it's uh, really
Yeah.
disheartening to see that sort of thing. Let me ask you a question. You've had quite the football journey, man, from high school to being a high recruit, going to your dream school, Virginia Tech. Like, man, how cool is that? Not to mention you dominated for Virginia Tech, and then we have the NFL draft right around the corner. At one point in time, that you even became the ACC. I think it was Defensive Player of the Week. I believe it was.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what motivates you in life? What are some of the driving forces behind your journey?
I say, a very obvious one is, family, being able to, like go out there and put like that name on the back of my jersey. I just wanted to make sure, I represent all aspects of life, not only just with football, I think, but just when it comes to that football field, I feel like I don't just play for myself, I play for my name. And not only just the name of, my family, but just the name of my team, like just seeing that them Hokies across the front, that VT logo all over their helmet and uniform, I think it's just I've always been a guy that I wouldn't want anybody not to give me 110, so everybody can expect that from me, and that's just always been like my key factors and just how I became the person I became. And I was raised that way thanks to my grandparents, my grandfather, who's still like, he's not hard on me, but he's like very, very, very bluntly real with me. And he continues to just make sure that, I always put God first, but he always lets me know that, you can always get better at something. Like the journey's not over. Even when you felt like you mentioned the ACC Player of the Week, even when you still feeling high, you got to always remember all the lowest of lows that you went through to even get to a moment like that, to even be recognized across such a really good conference full of great players. And I just continue to always humble myself. It's just been just how I've made it this far, how I've made it to like how I made it to being a first generation graduate from college. It's just I've always just thought, yeah, that might have been good, but it can always be better. And I think that's what kind of drives me, that I can always, and I know that there is like room for improvement.
That's amazing, man. And you mentioned those really important people in your life. I've only known you for about 10, 12 minutes. So we talked 2 minutes before we started this interview, man. And you're a really down to earth guy, man. So kudos to those beautiful people who took help for you to get to
Appreciate
where you
that.
are.
Appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now you are a force of nature, man. I see, man. You're You're a fast edge rusher, man. You could take people head on. I watch your game. You're real twitchy, man, and like an elusive D lineman, which is really fun. And you're powerful. You can go a lot of different ways with it, man. Is there a specific scheme that's your favorite when it comes to being on an NFL team?
Or I'd have to say a 3-4 outside backer, and that's because with them, they can drop, and I do think, and I'm really confident in my ability that I can play. I can play in the flats. I can drop, and guard a tight end 1-on-1. But just also, I feel like just being on that edge, a lot of great players, you just see them just wreaking havoc on that edge. Obviously, the number one in the league from that specific system is TJ Watt. And with him, it just comes to all great defensive linemen. I wouldn't say he has any moves that are overly spectacular, but he has a motor that is second to none. You can come to the younger Bosa, you can go to Micah Parsons. I think ultimately what I have in common with any of those players is that there's kind of no off switch. There's no, oh, he's tired. There's no, oh, he'll take this play off. It's go, it's go, it's go, it's go. And then there's just the desires to want to, like, you from first, like I said, that's why I use TJ Watt as the first example, because your first move might not work. Who knows, your second move might not work. But sometimes it's just rushing, because you never know. Like, the quarterback doesn't plan, okay, I'm gonna hold the ball for 5 seconds here. Quarterback might get the ball out 2 seconds every time he passes the ball, 2 point, 2 point, 2 point. And the one time he holds it for more than 4 point is the one time you didn't go as hard as you've been going. And it's because you're expecting him to get the ball out quick. So then you start, trying to hit a move that gives you easy access. You hit a move that you think that's half effort, that's half-heartedly. And what the beauty of the game is, I always say is, offensive linemen's job are to lose late. But I really think it's crazy because as a defensive lineman, you can almost get blown off the ball. You can get dominated all game. But if you end up with a critical sack that turns into a strip fumble, it looks like you had a monster game. So it's just like, I always, in my back of my head, it's always a next play mentality. Like, when something goes good, when something goes bad. And I feel like that's really like what's helped me just become the player I've become.
And that being said, talking about your game, it's really hard to see any flaws in your game. But that being said, you get feedback from coaches and stuff. What are some areas of your game you hope to perhaps improve on, and something that maybe you would like NFL scouts who are watching this video to know that you're currently improving on?
I'm improving on just about everything, because that's the thing. Once you think something's perfect, that's when you get sloppy. That's when you get lazy. So even though I think I have a really good stab, club, rip, I think I have a really good speed to power. Once I really get them running, get them turned, get them boxed, and I can, actually, since I'm a little bit of a quicker guy, they'll not expect the power to come. I still like work on all of it, because I know it goes from a quote that my defensive line coach said at Tech. It's that I don't fear a man with 1,000 moves. I don't fear a man that practices 1,000 kicks. I fear a man that practices one kick 1,000 times. So it's like, even if like I was really good at something, I know I want to work to make it really great, if that makes sense. Like, make it almost unstoppable. Make it to where it's like, I'm the best in the world at doing that one move. And it's just been, a lot of everything. I think I can really improve just even on just footwork, because a lot of the time, a lot of great offensive linemen have really good feet. Like, you'll see Trent Williams, like, you never really see him get beat, and it's because his footwork is awesome. And you'll see a lot of great edge rushers. If you really look, it's the way how they could, not only can they contort their body, not only is it their hands where they hit the tape of the offensive lineman, it's the fact is that those feet, those ankle flexibility, like ankle mobility, like the fact that they can bend around that edge at almost 4 feet tall, and they're a 6'7" edge rusher. So I'm just trying to improve every aspect of my game, improve everything that I can do, because that's the only way I'll ever be the best I want.
Man, I love that. I love that. And we hit a little we got philosophical there, man. I like that quote. Like when I go back and edit this, man, I'm gonna write that and put that on my wall, man. I love that.
Yeah, it was a great one. That's one that's definitely stuck with me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That being said, you know, it's great to hear that because you think of guys like Reggie White, and he had that move, and you just couldn't stop. You look at Von Miller,
Hmm.
he has that move, you just can't stop, man. When he hits you with that spin, he
Hmm.
just wreaks havoc, and he's been doing it for over a decade. And it's like you know it's coming,
Yeah.
but he's the best at it, you know, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So very, very, very cool. That being said, who are some coaches and I would say coaches slash forward slash mentors to help for you to get to where you are today? I know you mentioned about some of your family members. Were there anybody else?
Yeah, I mentioned Bud too, so I won't go with him. Coach Pryor right now, who's the current head coach at Virginia Tech, I think he recruited me to Penn State at 15. I think he's did a great job just with my 11 months having him as my head coach. I think that was a pretty cool deal. My first defensive line coach at Virginia Tech, he's at NC State right now, and I think he showed me how to truly become a great defensive lineman when it comes to playing in the run game, and that's Coach Wiles there. And I really appreciate him for that. And the current defensive line coach at Virginia Tech, who's Coach JC Price. I think he just helped me kind of put it all together. He knew I had a lot of things I've learned throughout from Bud's system to learning from Coach Wiles, who was my old coach, and he just kind of helped me, make the game slow down and a lot easier for me, and that's why I was able to, I think, put on which was my best career year, despite maybe not playing in as much games, and despite not having as much games as a lot of other players because we had one canceled short.
You know, we all know NFL scouts, man, they do crazy amounts of research from calling coaches to calling neighbors to even asking you questions and whatnot. For NFL scouts and NFL teams who watch this video, what's something that you want them to know about you that they may not know already?
Well, for anybody that's watching this video, but especially NFL scouts and NFL teams, just know whatever you get from TYJUAN GARBUTT, it will never be half-hearted. It'll never be the effort. It'll never be half-assed. Excuse my language, and the effort level is going to be incredible. Like you'll have to tell me to slow down when it's a walkthrough, because that's how hard slash how fast I go. So it's just all I know. That's all I've been raised. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it 100%. Not 110%. That's what Coach Price said. He doesn't believe in that. It's only 100%. It only goes up to 100.
I love it. I love it. High engine, high motor. I love it. And then my last question of the night: what are some of your goals? You get signed by an NFL team, whoever it may be. Could be the Dolphins, could be somewhere in Seattle, or somewhere in between there. What are some of your goals when you get to the next level?
Well, my goals, I would say, obviously, and I think that's everyone's goal. You want to make the roster, whether if it's the active, whether if it's even if they, think that I'm just a good enough addition to keep on the team. Like, I want to make a team. Not only that, I want to be able to help a team win. Going back to the first answer, which is if it's on the active roster, if it's a lot of special teams, that's fine. Situational pass rusher, that's fine. Or even if it's a practice squad guy, hoping to give them the best look from a quick, twitchy guy that they're about to play this week, that's fine with me. And I just say, be able to, just just not only just make a team better, but just like I want to be able to win. I feel like I was here at Tech and we won a lot early on in my career, and then we didn't win so much. And part of me still regrets that because once it's over, there's always something you feel like, even if it's not really you, you could probably push the teammate. You could have said something at the halftime of a certain game. I just want to be able to, learn from a lot of the great players that I'll be around, and when it's my turn, be that guy that can, not only just be dependent on, but just also be able to bring guys that are in the position I'm in now along, that I know, they'll treat this shot and this opportunity like it's their last, because it might be, and they'll just take it and run with it. And that's just the type of goals the type of things I want to accomplish throughout my time in the league. Because, you know, like we mentioned, all those great other defensive linemen, everybody can't be them. You know, you only could be you. And I just want to be the best me. And I'm going to bring whatever team gives me an opportunity, the best me.
Love it. I love it, man. And talking to you, man, I feel the urgency, man. Somebody who is like, hey, if I get that spot, no matter what round I'm in, UDFA, whatever, I make that roster, man. I ain't going nowhere. You know, like exactly. I love the urgency and your passion. And folks, if you're watching this, if that don't move you, I don't know what will. You probably need to see a psychiatrist, man. Man, TYJUAN, thank you so much for coming on the show here today. This is one of the most powerful interviews I've actually hosted, man. So I'm truly am grateful. Before we finish off the interview and the episode, any shout outs?
Well, I just want to shout out to obviously friends, family, love them all. Shout out to my agent. You know, he's done a great job.
OTG Management.
Yeah, they've done a great job just making sure that, you know, like I've gotten accustomed to this process. Shout out to, you know, all my former teammates, and make sure that, you know, they still work and that, you know, their opportunities coming faster than they know it. So be ready and continue to work for just the opportunity to get to where they need to go, and do as long as they do it 100%, they'll have the opportunity to get to where they need to go. And most importantly, you know, just shout out just everyone that's ever believed in me, everyone that's stuck with me through thick and thin, just knowing the type of player I am, and not just even just for that, just knowing the type of person I am.
Love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is TYJUAN GARBUTT, defensive lineman, Virginia Tech. The legend continues. It don't end here. It continues. Go down below in the description of this video. You're going to have all social media stuff down below. You guys make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Y'all have a blessed night. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.